Hey guys, Racing Lawyer here for another video in the COTA Hotlap series that I'm creating. Again, this is the third video. We've got another Audi here. It's the Audi TCR RS3. The idea behind these videos is I'm basically taking every car that I have in iRacing and running it at COTA, my home track in real life that I have a lot of experience on driving my own cars. And I just want to see how these cars stack up to each other with lap times. Now, these cars come from everywhere from NASCARs to road racers to dirt cars. But we're going to create a list and kind of see, where are some similarities and where are some differences. Um, Previous video was in the Audi R8 LMS, and now we are with another Audi in the TCR. The TCR is a bit of a different beast. I've raced against these in real life in WRL endurance racing. They are front-wheel drive, high downforce, relatively high downforce, relatively low horsepower little cars. Basically, it's the Michelin Pilot series runs these cars in real life as kind of like a feeder for IMSA. And this particular car has about 350 horsepower, weighs about 2,700 pounds, what gives it a power to weight ratio, around 7.5 to 8 um, uh, pounds per horsepower. So, nothing crazy. It's not going to blow your socks off, but the aero does give it some significant advantages. The front wheel drive does make it handle a little bit differently. You have to drive it like a front wheel drive front engine car. Which means you have to use a lot of trail brake to keep it to turn in, and as soon as you go on the gas and the weight shifts to the rear of the car, you kind of lose all grip up front, which means it's going to understeer. I've got the baseline setup loaded up. We are running morning weather at 72 degrees, similar conditions for all these different cars. So let's go ahead and hop in and do a couple warm-up laps and a fast lap and see what kind of time we can set. Now, when this car first came out, I actually drove it in a full season iRacing, and I really liked it. I'm an Audi fan in general, so it's really refreshing to see this car that came to iRacing when it did. I know the TCR is a very popular world class. You've got a lot of manufacturers that are putting cars in it, like Alfa Romeo and Volkswagen and Audi, of course. And it's just really popular and really competitive. I have a lot of real-life friends that race in the series, and they can't say enough about these little cars. But that being said, I haven't driven this car probably in about 8 months. So I'll have to relearn it. And I definitely haven't driven it since the latest iRacing patch, which kind of threw everything up in the air. If I remember correctly, you can't really shift below third gear in these cars because you'll just wheel spin. So there's no point in going below third. So third gear, come around here, you got a trail brake in, and as soon as you go to the gas, it just pushes out. Like there's no feeling in the steering. Rear end is kind of just along for the ride. So you have to get the car pointed where you want it to go and then squeeze the throttle. So it's kind of like almost a little bit of a point and shoot. Turn, 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 turn. There we go. The TCR class in real life does not compete against the GT4 class, but there are some tracks like Lime Rock, for instance, when IMSA goes there, where the TCRs are just as fast and in some cases faster than the GT4s. So in the official series, you'll end up getting these TCRs, the fast guys running up pass the slow guys in the GT4 class, and well, the GT4s are faster in a straight line, of course, but the TCRs have just as much grip, if not more, especially in the high-speed stuff, because they have all the aerodynamic help. That felt better. Still wants to run wide at a full throttle. You gotta be patient. It'd be interesting to compare the min speed through the S's to like a GT3 car. Aerodynamics should be pretty similar for both those cars. A GT3 might have a little bit more. But you're not accelerating through the S's, it's kind of just cornering speed. It's just to see how fast like the Audi R8 went through there compared to this. I don't expect it to be as different as one might think. Another hallmark of the TCR car is they're kind of built like tanks. It's basically touring car racing. If any of you've watched British touring cars in the past, they bang doors and don't give each other a lot of room. It's kind of a similar concept. I think we'll be able to set a pretty good time. The car feels good. Baseline setup feels alright. Wish I had a little bit more rotation, but overall it's a nice, safe setup. Nice and wide, patient, patience. There we go. Now get on top. Yes. Alright, let's do our hot lap. Touching about 140 on the back straight. That's pretty good. That's the speed that I get to in my 981 GT4 street car at COTA. Patience through 15. There we go. Is the last one left, and across the line. Looks like we did a 226.1. Not too bad. So for a 226.1 in a TCR car, I've done a 233 in real life in a bone stock 981 GT4 on street tires. So what that is, 5, 4, 3, so 7 seconds about difference between the two. That's not too bad. And you got to remember that the TCR does have slicks on it. So that's about what I would expect. So let's go ahead and take a look at what it looked like in replay and chase. If I recall correctly, the Audi TCR uses the 4-cylinder engine. It doesn't use the 5-cylinder that the road-going RS3 has, which is kind of a shame, but I think there was a power limit they needed to withhold. And it had a pretty good line from the guys, so I was happy with that. Able to get on the throttle, upshift up the hill, and keep my foot in it. Remember I went a little wide on entry here, but it allowed me to get on the throttle a little earlier, so carry. Probably a little slow going in, but decently quick on the way out. Anybody wanted to drive one of these TCRs in real life, there's a few teams, like I said, that run them in WRL, which stands for the World Racing League, kind of a grassroots endurance league that does multiple 8-hour races on any given weekend on tracks around the country. There's a couple of teams that own a couple of these cars that run them in the GTO class. You can always get in there and get some really good seat time on any given weekend. I personally haven't driven one in real life. Just one of those cars that are really fun to drive. Wish I had about another 100 horsepower, but you'd be driving a GT3 car at that point. So it has its niche, and it does a really good job of it. So that was a 226.1. All right, guys, this is Racing the Lawyer. So thank you very much for watching, and there will be another video with another car coming soon.